Normally, we don't really
Okay.
talk about controversial tea, but I just wanted to bring this up because I really appreciate that Nunu said something. I don't know the specific incident that sparked this post, but a lot of the actors, as we know, like they see the fan wars that happen. They know what's going on. Half the
Mhm.
time, they're literally sitting next to the person whose fans are fighting with their fans, you know? And so they're like, hey
Yeah.
guys, have you seen that our fans are fighting? And so Nunu posted a post, and basically here he iterates that, you know, I love all my fans. I truly believe that most of my fans are lovely, lovely people. However, I do see the fans that are not lovely. And he's like, I hope that we can be really kind to each other. And, you know, you guys represent us also. And so I don't want people to think that my fandom is a bad fandom or mean or rude or anything like that. And he says it in a very nice, beautiful way. I mean, obviously, I'm reading the translation from Google, but I know that Nunu speaks very well. And he wrote a very, very lovely paragraph that basically says that, you know, he appreciates the fans, but he wants them to think twice before they say bad things or before they, you know, show hate to somebody else. And I just wanted to point it out because I think it's something that we can all learn from and think about. It's like, you know, yes, it takes you 2 seconds to say something mean online, but it really does affect the artists. Like, there are some artists, there have been people who've come out as part of the industry and say, like, there are some actors who don't get hired for certain jobs because people say, oh, their fans are crazy and they don't want to work with
Mhm.
them. And it's unfortunate because the artist is not their fans, but the fans are going to come to the event. So if the fans are going to come to the event and you don't like how the fandom is and how they act, you're not going to hire the artist. So I just think it would be
No.
good for all of us to think about the artists that we love and appreciate and think about how we want them to be perceived by other people and have people perceive us the same way. So,
The other one everybody's stoked about because we've been waiting forever, and that is Love Upon a Time.
ah!
Um, it's finally coming. It starts on Friday. It's Thailand this time. It's going to be on IGE. It's from Domundi. So we were just talking about Domundi. This is their newest series. And I don't know. I know the premise is a lot more complicated than this, but the core of it is a boy goes back in time. So that is where I'm going with it.
I mean, yes, a boy goes back in time, and we don't necessarily know. Well, granted, I haven't watched the trailer because, as I've said before, sometimes I don't like watching trailers because they give too much away. But
True.
I'm sure there's something he ends up having to do in the past that he's supposed to accomplish. But yes, it
Hmm.
is about a boy that goes into the past. And, you know, I kind of just want to recount the story of how this series came to be because it's just worth
Okay.
telling. So, this story, if people don't know, it was going to be Net and James originally. They were in bed friend together and they had this story planned. And then James decided to go more down the idol route. He really wanted to work on his singing and his dancing. So Net lost
Yes.
the partner, but he wanted to continue doing the show. So he was like, "Off, I want to keep doing this series. Like, let's recast my partner." So Net went and found JJ on his own. He had to go out and like he wanted to find the perfect person for him, and he really really
There
liked
you
JJ.
go.
Then Latte, the second couple was supposed to be Latte and First One. Latte and First One were paired together like supposed to be in this like a long time ago. And then Doomandi friendship happened and Toll came in and just kind of messed up everything. Although, you know, they're very happy in their current couples. I think everything turned out for the best. However, then Latte lost his partner. But Latte was like, I want to stick with this series. I'm going to be here too with Net. And so then they had to find a partner for Latte. Then they found Kim, who is lovely and beautiful, and we love him, and I think he's the perfect casting for that part. But in the process of all of that, I think we've waited about maybe 5 years for this series, potentially more.
Hmm.
I'm not even sure. So she's gone through a lot. Please support her. I think it's actually going to be really good because the same director who directed Kemjira is working on this one. And I think that he put his blood, sweat, and tears into it. and they had to deal with flooding. They had to deal with all of these, you know, environmental elements. And I just am really excited to see the outcome of all of that hard work.
Absolutely, 1000%. It's going to be fantastic. The trailer gave nice, strong, like cinematography vibes. So I have my fingers
Nice.
crossed.
Yay! And it's like our classic high school drama. This popular boy ends up getting intrigued by this loner boy, and you know, they end up hanging out on the rooftop together and spilling all their deep dark secrets to each other, and you know, probably falling in love, I'm assuming. But I will have to say that, like, even with that kind of sort of basic storyline, I really enjoyed the first couple episodes. Like, they're both very charming and very relatable, and I don't know, their chemistry is just fun. I like it, even though it's a story we've seen before. I really liked the actors who are playing it. So I don't know, since it's coming, I feel like this one might be better binged. I know I never say that, but
Yeah.
since it is sort of like a more simple story, I don't know if you have to like watch it week to week and like be on the edge, like waiting to see what's happening next. I think you can probably just wait and then watch the whole thing and just kind of live in like the fluffy land of, you know, this, with a little bit of drama added, I'm sure, high school love story. I have to talk about this. This is not necessarily an episode 1 because it came out like a few weeks ago, I think. But YouTube brought this back to my attention. If anyone remembers that show called Couple or Not, it was a Chinese / maybe Taiwanese. I honestly don't know because my drama list is not the be all end all for information, but my drama list says China, but the YouTube channel says Taiwan. So I don't know. However, it is a show where they're speaking Mandarin, and it was Omegaverse, and it was released in 2024, and it was behind a paywall, I believe, but then it like disappeared from the earth. It just disappeared into the ether, and people couldn't find it. People could not watch it. It wasn't even on, like, you know, if you're trying to be sneaky, it wasn't even in any of those places. And people were like, how can I watch this show? And apparently the YouTube channel, it's called YS-Drama YouTube channel. They are re-releasing the show, and I'm so excited. So the first 4 episodes are free on the YouTube channel. You'll have to kind of scroll through. It's a little confusing. I think whoever is uploading the channel doesn't understand how to add multiple language subtitles to one video. So they've uploaded it in every language. So there'll be like there's like 5 or 6 episode 1s, 5 or 6 episode 2s in each language. So I appreciate their effort. But yeah, so they've uploaded the first 4 episodes, and then you have to go behind a paywall on, I think it's called Ko-fi, or maybe you pronounce it coffee. It's like KO-FI. But they say that it is literally for the price of a coffee. So I'm assuming that it's not that expensive to pay for the last 4 episodes. So yeah, if you want to watch all 8 episodes, they are now re-airing. And I just think that's super cool because it was literally like this it was like this hidden thing that no one could find, and now it's airing again. And I would say try to watch it now before it gets taken down again. So anyways, the premise is about this guy who ends up waking up in a parallel universe, and all of a sudden he's in Omegaverse and he's pregnant, and he's like, what is happening? So I just thought that sounds like a really interesting premise. It was a big deal back then because this was before ABO Desire came out. So any mention of Omegaverse was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's a really, really fun story. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll have hard eyes at some point, and you will learn a heck of a lot about cat behavior if you decide to watch Cat for Cash. And I think that anybody who is a cat lover would love this show. Just a really sweet series. Yeah.
Yay. I'm glad. I will say I gave up on Cat for Cash. I did not enjoy it. However, there are so many people, including Songbird, who loved it and or really enjoyed it. And so I think it must just not be my cup of tea, which is totally fine. So I am super happy that people enjoyed it. I also heard from my Thai friends that the script is really funny in Thai. I mean, obviously, like it was cute and funny in English too, but apparently maybe the way the words they're using or things like that are just like really funny in Thai. So I think that it might lose a little bit of that maybe on me, or for anybody, you know.
Thailand likes their, what would it be? The words that sound similar. I guess that's, I don't remember what that's called, but they like their, they're like punny.
Yeah, yeah. So I
And
think
that
that
punny wouldn't translate probably to English.
exactly. Yes.
And for all I know, I was laughing at some of those things that I didn't even realize I was laughing at, from my knowledge of Thai. That would
Yeah.
be very entertaining to go back and analyze my own reactions to things and see what I thought was
Right.
funny was because it was English funny or if it because it was Thai funny.
I think that it had its good points and it had its bad points. I think that Shiwin was the director. He has also directed Bedfriend, Middleman's Love, Deep Night, Playboy, War of Why. I feel like Shiwin's series always seem to have a deep message that he's trying to get across. He always has something that he wants the audience to understand from his series. And
Sure.
personally, I think that that's a really cool thing. I think that it's a
Mhm.
really good intention, and I just think that sometimes it the way he tells the story to get that message across doesn't always land for people. I really enjoyed Deep Night. I thought Deep Night was
I did too.
crafted really well. I also have really enjoyed Bedfriend. I think Bedfriend was done really well, but some of the other stories, including this one, maybe had some issues in the storytelling. And I don't know where that stems from. It could stem from the scriptwriters. It could stem from his, it might not just be his direction and his vision, but I do appreciate that all of his shows do have a deeper message that he's trying to get across. Who would like this show? I think, well, not to be crude, but if you like some NC scenes, you will enjoy the show. If you like, characters who learn something about themselves, you would like the show. If you like people who become better because they meet someone else sort of thing, I think you would like the show. I feel like that's one of the main themes is that, this person makes me want to be better and makes me want to like yeah, just be a better person. And so I like that.